The Dallas Cowboys are interested in signing either Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants or Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. That's the claim of reports coming out of Bristol mostly as NFL free agency opens here on Monday. But these reports, even if you buy them, come with a massive if. I'm Mike Fisher, your trusty and trusted reporter. This is the Fishbowl. That is the Star. We will keep you abreast, of course, from inside that building all day long, all week long, all off season long, especially as we launch into NFL free agency, where the Cowboys are not expected by me to be tier one buyers. But I'm not alone in that belief. I'm in conflict with others, including the reporters at ESPN who say, and I quote, the Cowboys could be interested in Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry as we get ready for the legal tampering period to open on Monday, if their prices drop. Oh, okay. See, I'm not just trying to shoot down I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, a negative Nancy. I am pointing out that this is a, frankly, clever way to craft a wildly unlikely story, I say, because it features not only the headline-grabbing duo of Barkley and Henry, but also the headline-worthy inclusion of a third name that would be Captain Obvious. Because, yes, I can testify, and we can discuss here, and we will, of course, at cowboyssi.com and here on the Fish Report throughout the day as we get you loaded for bear. Straight dope, no bullshit on what the Cowboys are really doing in terms of talent acquisition. You probably saw our Friday, or you need to see our Monday morning report on the Cowboys' top 10 priorities as we enter free agency. We'll have Fish at 6, of course, tonight as we wrap up day one of what should be eventful around the league, if not eventful around the Star. I can testify that one of the could-be if angles of ESPN's claim can be eliminated right now. The Cowboys won't be interested in this kind of upgrade if the contractual price of doing so shrinks. That won't be an if. They will absolutely be interested, absolutely, positively be interested in signing Saquon Barkley if no other team comes close to his projected contract value, which I now am going to put at $12 million. Just call it a guesstimate. I think $12 million a year is where we're going with Saquon Barkley. And yeah, if somehow that shrivels up and I'm wrong by double, yes, it will not be the Cowboys might be interested. The Cowboys will be interested. We could do the same thing on Derrick Henry. If no other team meets his projected price, I'm going to put that at $10 million. Maybe short term. Maybe it's 1 year, $10 million. 2 years, $18 million. Yes, if that shrivels up and dies and nobody gives him anything close to that, the Cowboys might not be interested. The Cowboys will be interested. Unfortunately, so will most every other team. Also, unfortunately, while the running back market is flooded with talent, which could eventually help Dallas sign somebody, I'm here to tell you, the re-signing of Tony Pollard at, let's say, $6 million, that's my number, $6 million APY, with a source telling cowboyssi.com that such a move is indeed the top consideration. Try to keep Pollard at the right price and draft another running back. That's the premium plan here. Trust me. But Barkley at 27, Henry at 30, bring him on, except that even in this shrinking market, I don't think it's going to shrink for Saquon, and I doubt that's going to shrink for Henry. I think contending teams with money, and there's lots of them, might just view Saquon Barkley as their Christian McCaffrey. He by the way, he might be as good as Christian McCaffrey if you put him with the right team in the right place and let him play. Watching the Giants last year, and as a Cowboy fan, I know you did, they took Saquon Barkley off the field on third down. Why? That would be like the 49ers making Christian McCaffrey a spot player. It's ridiculous. Henry, his yards per carry have declined the last couple of years, but watch him play. He was very good last year. in Tennessee behind a bad offensive line, and still was at the top of the charts in terms of touches, and closed very strong with a very good final game of the year. Two-time rushing champion. I just don't think these two guys, are going to be the ones who suffer in this crunch. I am aware of all the Saquon angles because we've written about him and talked about him. His comment about his appreciation for the big lights in Dallas. I've told you this before. Contrary, as it relates to coaches and players, contrary to what some people think, oh, nobody would want to play for that. Yes, they do. They want to play here. They want to coach here. They absolutely do, because this is the big stage. We're familiar with Derrick Henry's familiarity with the area, and we made this clear at the end of last week. Yes, Derrick Henry bought a house in Dallas. He's purchased a lot of houses in Dallas. He lives here part-time in the off-season. I will say this as a sidebar to the Derrick Henry story. This is possible. If he decides, listen, Tennessee's not going anywhere. I don't really even want to live in Nashville where he has a mansion. I'm going to sell my Nashville mansion and I'm going to live in Dallas. And if I'm going to live in Dallas, like I kind of do because he trains here, if I'm going to live in Dallas in, March, April, May, and June, maybe I should live in Dallas in July, August, September, October, November. If that is a priority to Derrick Henry and his family, then maybe when the Cowboys make that phone call, surely they've already touched base, right? Well, I mean, it's Monday, so it's legal tampering now, kind of. If he expresses to them, listen, I want to close my career with a star on my helmet. I'm going to raise my family in Dallas. I had my $1.6 million mansion down in Bluffview neighborhood, down kind of by Love Field. Now I'm buying another mansion. It's bigger, it's better, and if that's what that player wants, then yeah, the Cowboys should answer that phone call. And I think there's a number that it makes incredibly good sense for the Cowboys to do it. I don't know that the number is $10 million for the Cowboys. But if he wants to take this is my adopted hometown discount, fantastic. I just think it's, I think it's kind of deceptive. Not that I don't know who appointed me media watchdog. I guess I did. I think it's kind of deceptive to say that the Cowboys are in on Saquon and Derrick Henry, unless you put the if at the, in a prominent place in the headline. Because we mentioned Captain Obvious. Every single team is in on Saquon Barkley for the right price. The 49ers already have Christian McCaffrey, but if Saquon Barkley at some right price, they'd sign him too. I'll have both of them at the right price. Again, I'm stretching the point to make the point. The discounted rate on Saquon Barkley, if it shrivels up to nada, what team wouldn't want him? What team couldn't use Derrick Henry? Richie Witt at CowboysSI.com writing about the hammer, saying the Cowboys offense needs the hammer, and Derrick Henry is that guy. Very few offenses in the NFL, even ones that have a productive runner, couldn't also use the hammer. So you get Derrick Henry out there and somehow he's Russell Wilson priced, $1.2 million or whatever. Again, I'm exaggerating, I think. Yeah, I'll take Derrick Henry on my team all day. I'll take Saquon Barkley on my team all day. And so will every other team. But we get around to this if. And we have to deal with the realities here. It's really exciting to think about. It's exciting to envision. But again, just using Saquon Barkley. You know who else thinks it's exciting to envision Saquon Barkley in their uniform? The Baltimore Ravens, who are at least as much contenders as Dallas is, maybe more. They went to the AFC Championship game last year. They have an offense that's ready-made with Lamar Jackson. That is basically, because they've had so many injury problems at running back, they're basically one full-time running back short of being even better than they were last year, as long as they can keep some of their defensive free agents together. Okay? That's a team that is a star running back away and can afford to pay for that guy and won't lose in the bidding to Dallas, I say, whether the demand or the access shrivels up or not. The Houston Texans, in need of a running back. They could use either one of these guys. The Houston Texans are this close to being a true contender. So there's going to be all kinds of bidders on these two players and much, much more. I do think that at some point the Austin Eckler level guy, is Joe Mixon getting cut in Cincinnati? There's a next tier guy that we could endorse as a Cowboy possibility. But SAQUON in the ESPN headline, Henry in the ESPN headline. Would Dallas be interested in a bargain basement price Barkley or Henry in the same way that we joke around here? In the same way, and I've said this for 25 years, I'd be interested in dating Halle Berry. So yes, that's a Cowboys yes. The problem with I am interested in dating Halle Berry if, there's many problems, but one of them is the director of pro personnel in this household has vetoed that acquisition. So Marcia is against my acquisition of Halle Berry. And so we better include the big giant if when we talk about what I find to be ridiculous proposals. No offense, Halle Berry, and sugar, don't get jelly. Fish out.